Welcome, welcome everyone. I appreciate your presence and being here. Always wonderful to connect in this way. Let's begin. Right. We're all in a beautiful place. I'm glad we all get to share this space. So welcome, welcome to Mastery Monday of June. Welcome into June. We're going to have a interesting experience today with self-love and boundaries and aligned communication with self. So I know we've been in quite a bit of a squeeze, an uprising, an inward pull the past couple of days and week. So we're going to explore that in the energy update. So what we'll do is we'll have a guided grounding, presencing, opening meditation. And then we'll do an energy update. And then I'll share about the topic of self-love and boundaries and aligned communication. And then we will go into a meditation around that. So if you are on YouTube or on Zoom, please share with us where you're calling in from, like Teresa in Alberta. Thank you. How can we thank you for holding space? Yes, thank you. So, all right. So let's just take a moment to get into our bodies, get into our breath. Taking a moment to take a breath in, bringing your attention and your awareness to your breath. Noticing your breath coming in and out of your body. Noticing where you might want to breathe it in a little deeper. Maybe give yourself a nice big sigh and exhale. Just to flow out. Be right here and right now, inviting the fullness of your attention, if you can, to be right here into this moment. Inviting your mind to quiet. Inviting yourself to feel yourself in your seat. Notice your body. Maybe once you start to notice your body, you want to adjust a little bit or just stretch or move gently to invite the circulation of your breath, the circulation of your energy through your body. Calling your awareness to be right here, right now. And as you're calling your awareness to be here, right now, asking for any of the energies that you may have picked up today or before this moment with any interactions, thoughts, or emotions. So just asking for any and all cords that you may have picked up to be released from your physical body and your energy body and sent to source or to wherever they need to go in the highest good. Of this moment. Inviting a golden white light around your body and around your energy body. And inviting any energies that are here that are needed to invite your energy to integrate, harmonize. Settle. Inviting relaxation and calm. groundedness into your body, into your presence, to your mind. Another deep breath into the body, inviting a beautiful white light from above your head to flow through the center channel of your body, from above your head down through the center of your head, center of your neck, center of your torso, all the way down through your body, through your root, base of your spine and body, and through and down through the floor, into the earth, into the pure heart of the crystalline Mother Earth, the ground to connect. And then breathing up in gratitude for the energy of Mother Earth and our connection here, breathing up through the body, up above the head through Source, the Sun and Source and Grand Central Sun, to just say hello to the expanse of our experience of life, connection, letting that light flow all the way down and around your body, down through into the center of the earth, and then back up through the center channel of your body, through the top of your head and around, just gently inviting the harmony of the toroidal field to go all the way around and through your body. Presence, clarity, connection, wholeness, and unity within and without. Breathing through your heart. You breathe through your heart. Igniting that spark of divine light, of pure love in the center of your heart. Beautiful flame of light, of love, of pure connection to self. Beautiful. And taking another breath in and maybe a sigh if needed. Giving gratitude for life itself and all that is. Welcoming you into this space. Allowing all of us that are here to connect together in a resonant unity of presence and connection, so that we may flow on all the levels of our being with clarity and purity. Thank you. And all those that will be on the replay. Ah, wonderful. So thank you again, everyone, for being in here into this space, welcoming you, welcoming you, welcoming you. We appreciate you being here with me, Kristen, and that we get to share Mastery Monday every first Monday of the month to support in setting the pace of what's been taking place and what we get to, what we're moving into, and what's happening now, and be that bridge and that wholeness to these flows of energy that we're experiencing So when I was tuning in for this Mastery Monday, it was like, ooh, self-love and boundaries, align communication with self. I was like, okay, that's rich. That's really rich. And multi-layered. So we'll see what we can really explore and allow and bring to life here today in this connection through this. And so I'm curious of what you all have been feeling, and I appreciate you saying hi in chat. Lisa from Carolina, and Alice in Kentucky, and Ina in Southern California, Lynn in Washington. Woo! Hey, Ray in Berkeley Springs. We got quite a few, and I know others of you that are here from some of those areas as well. So thank you. I see you. And I'd love to hear either in chat in Zoom or in comments and chat on YouTube. Like, what have you been experiencing lately? What's been present for you? Because I know that we had a couple geomagnetic storms over this past week, one that seemed to really blow people out, and then one that came through yesterday. That was like my whole reality felt like it's like, whoa, it's crumbling down. And I was just like, okay, I'm crumbling with it. I have no idea what's going to happen, but it's happening, or what it's going to become, but show me the way. I have no idea. And just, was present with it while, working with all the intensity of the energy moving through my body, and taking time to sit and be outside in the sun, and all of that. And so it's this energy right now that feels like it's just going, okay, how much awareness can you have? How much awareness can you have? How much awareness can you have? And how deep and, thorough can this awareness get and go? And how much can it inspire or bring up the, the wisdom that's within each of those things. And I know sometimes when we're in it, we're just in the stuff, right? We're just in the stuff, and there's no not having stuff, right? And that's perfect, because that's right what we need, just to keep bringing the eye to it, the awareness to it, and let it move through. And so one of the things that was really coming up in that, when I was watching the geomagnetic storm that happened, what was it? It was last Wednesday. I remember it was last Wednesday, and then the one yesterday. Even within that, just in grip of the intensity, it was like, just remember that that these things are temporary. That these things are temporary. And to step back into the expanse of the experience and view it from the bigger picture view of just like that, or just stepping into the moment of it and saying, okay, I hear this, I feel this, and this will pass at some time. And I trust that. And also just being really communicative in the moment. Really communicating in the moment what you're with yourself, right? Like, okay, I'm feeling that tension moving through my body. Okay, I feel you, because a lot of times when we just get caught up in the thoughts around it, or even just the inspirations, and we don't know necessarily where to go with the inspirations yet. It doesn't just have to be the challenging stuff. It's even those things of like, oh wow, okay, I hear you, vision, or I see you, I feel you. It really allows the mind to maybe not get caught up so much in some of the loops, and breathing. And what I'm seeing is it's really giving us an opportunity to increase our awareness around the thoughts and the feelings that we are having, maybe on a more regular basis, that are below what we're doing in our daily life, that are coming to the surface during these moments, to really give us a chance to see the relevancy in that and how to really give it attention. And so a lot of times those days that we're just in it, we just have to be in it. And then maybe the next day, like today, it's an opportunity to go, whoa, what was that? I need to I need to reflect on all the stuff that I was shown, right? All the things that were coming up. So yeah, so let's see. We've got some good comments in here I want to share. Ooh, migraines. Yeah, that seems to be common now. with the storms more than before are the migraines, the headaches. Uh, Hi in Oregon. Yes, resonate strongly with what you tuned into. Self-love, especially boundaries and communication. Yeah, tiny migraines and vertigo. Okay. Yeah, Lisa, waves of nausea have been through the body the last week. Come and go, intense energy shifts, purging the old, making room for the new. Exactly. Susan, major reality check from source in relationship to staying in toxic relationships. Such a gift. Yes, yes, yes. So what it I like that you brought that word in because I wanted to share that. It's almost like a massive detox all in like one moment, right? It's like just flow it out all into the system, get it out all into the head, whatever it is. And it feels like for me, it's also just this uh, space of void, right? The space of that space in between and the space of the void that wants to invite us into that space while the awareness is happening so that we don't get so caught up in it. And it feels kind of empty. It may feel empty. It may feel quiet at the same time that there's all this stuff going on around, but it's just an opportunity because I was like dipping into that space yesterday too. It's like that crumbling and it was just like going into the void and going, okay, I don't know exactly what, like I said, where it's going to go, what it's going to do, but I'm just watching these little things, come up around it. So yeah, Ray, for me, there's been a theme of self-acceptance, like how much awareness can you hold or open to? As you mentioned, Kristen, it's how much feeling of no motivation or in betweenness can you be in and still accept yourself. Beautiful. Yeah, connected to the self-love, communication, and boundaries, especially when other people's behavior or words could be interpreted as disrespectful or undermining. Letting it be a reflection on what they're experiencing and not a definition of my value or worth. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, Teresa, so much uncomfortable awareness, but I know it's good for me. Yes, yesterday was an exhausting day. Yeah, Ina, I'm reading the Celestine Prophecy out in my garden with the butterflies. Yay! Stephen, I just wanted to hide. Yeah. Gosh, I'm not laughing at you. I totally get it. I'm laughing and like, yeah, totally get that feeling. Like throw the covers over the head and just like tune out. Wow. Yeah, I totally understand that. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, and then Jules asking, wondering about the corpus callosum. Do you have any intake on this? Yeah, I'm probably gonna share more on this. That's like a deep subject that has a lot of details. But definitely during these times, a lot of that energy is rising up, right, from our power centers and our kundalini and that activation of those higher mind centers. And that is a place to really allow because it's just like two things are happening at once. It feels like we're getting pulled into this, really intense space while at the same time we're getting activated, right? So, so yeah, thank you. I yeah, Andrea, to everyone, I'm being reminded to notice areas to be more grateful, especially when it's difficult. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. We've also been tuning into a lot of gratitude for grateful to even just having the awareness, right? Having that opportunity. Yeah, to sit and allow it and watch it and be with it. Yeah. Ah, yeah. And I think it's beautiful to be able to, because for me, what I just kept doing was I just need to accept this energy, right? Or just like, if Ray was saying, just acceptance, self-acceptance around those experiences, right? So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to accept the energy. I'm going to accept this space instead of going into resistance, right? Which we're grateful, being grateful can help because by accepting it, it's like, okay, body, my body, because it's like, it's also being compassionate for ourselves in those moments. Maybe this is a part of the self-love that I'm going to get into here with that, because these moments are what really bring up that capacity for self-love and boundaries and communication with the self, right? Because these are the moments where we're really going to be, what do you want to say, tested? Not that we're being tested, but that our 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 consciousness and our presence gets tested, because it's like, how well can we be with the energy, no matter what it is for us, right? However we're experiencing it. And so it's also compassion that our bodies, our minds, our beings, like, we're aware of it, but our whole being is affected, right? And so that self-love piece is just inviting, going, okay, energies, I invite you to go where you need to go. I invite you to do what needs to be done, and and breathe with it. Because that experience of self-love is the greatest gift we can give ourselves in those moments. Like, yes, this is really challenging, and that's where that aligned communication comes in. It's going, okay, well, where am I following my thoughts? Am I getting caught up in loops? Am I going down the rabbit hole? Am I getting really do I feel cornered, in a certain thought or in a certain feeling? And just by having that aligned communication and talking to those feelings, talking to those experiences. Like yesterday, I felt this energy just moving through my body, like my whole nervous system was just like, brrr. And it felt like when things were happening, there was just this, almost instantaneous, like, everything felt much bigger than it was, right? And that instantly I could go into fear if I did, instead of going, okay, wait, I feel that feeling, I feel you feeling, I sense that, there's a lot of energy moving through my body and embody. Can we just take it in? So I'm looking this way because that's where I felt it in my body, right? And so I was literally bringing my full attention and awareness to that space within me and saying, okay, I accept this energy's here. We're going to breathe, and we're not going to let it, blow up or blow out of proportion. I love you. I love you, and just coming in. Sometimes we just can go into those mantras like, okay, I love you. And the other thing that has been really helpful, and that was really helpful to support the emotions. I don't know if you know this term or not from somatic healing, but havening, where you just take and rub your body. Maybe you rub your hands together, or you rub your belly, or you rub your arms, or something like that, to where you're soothing, you're giving yourself that soothing connection. So it's just like that self-love of going, okay, there's so many tools. What tool can I use in this moment, to support myself and not get caught up in it being right or wrong or anything like that. And so the boundaries, when I was tuning into the boundaries of what's happening right now with this energy moving through, it wasn't just about boundaries with other people. Because a lot of times we think about, when we talk about boundaries, it's like boundaries with how we're going to allow ourselves to be in relationship with other people, right? And that's definitely valid. But one of the things that has been really coming up is boundaries with self. Boundaries with the self. How much am I letting myself indulge in this type of self-talk? How much am I letting myself let my power and my energy go to these certain experiences? How much am I, giving to myself or not giving to myself, right? What boundaries am I having with the types of emotions and feelings I'm letting myself get into? And so when we get into this place of really noticing, and a lot of times we can tell by how our boundaries are with other people, right? Like where maybe our energy leaks or our boundaries aren't strong within our own bodies and our own systems, right? So this is an opportunity to go, okay, maybe, yes, I'm noticing that I don't have these boundaries with other people. So maybe I need to look inward, really draw inward and say, where am I not having these boundaries with myself and the way I'm communicating with myself, right? And connecting with myself. So, and when we do that, having those boundaries with ourselves, that's where that really aligned communication starts to come in. And then that deeper sense of self-love, because like, oh, wow, this is where I'm over, maybe even overstepping my boundaries with myself. And then when we can create that structure of boundaries with the self, then we can go into that filtering into our boundaries with other people. Because if we're really strong in how we're going to hold our own space, then it's just going to naturally flow into how we're. And then sometimes for some people, they need to work on their boundaries with other people first and then tap into their own boundaries. So just tune into that. And then also, really, I feel like we can also soften in our definition of self-love too. Soften into that space of what self-love really means for us. And maybe taking the pressure off of what that actually has to look like or feel like, that maybe it can be, a more simpler process of, like we were talking about, just going into that deeper acceptance of self. And so sometimes these days wipe us out. Sometimes we're exhausted. Sometimes we're tired. Sometimes we're feel good. So that's even talking to that and saying, okay, body, I know that we're not maybe feeling our best. So let's just do the best we can together. Maybe we need to rest. Maybe we can just tap into these things a day from now or 2 days from now when we feel we have the energy to. So, even in these moments, taking the pressure to have to go into that awareness. It's just that, it's like the wave is hitting us. We just got to, like ride the wave and then afterwards reflect upon it. Right. So taking the pressure off of having to be, I feel like sometimes there's that idea of having pressure of being present, right? Even the pressure of being present, of noticing everything and being, in that awareness with everything, and even just taking the pressure off of that, just noticing in this present moment, I don't feel like I'm capable of being present, as I'd like to be, or as present as, maybe I think I should be. She's like, well, maybe my presence right here is good enough, right? That I am at least present with the fact that it's challenging to be present. Exactly. Exactly. That is presence, right? Exactly. So by that presence, and just remembering that presence is presence, right? We're present in the present moment, whether we're off thinking about something, because that's where our present moment is, right? So, like, kind of relieving that pressure of saying, I can be present with exactly where I'm at. Yeah, maybe my thoughts are wild today. Maybe my emotions feel wild today, right? Yeah, the pressure to be really, really good. Oh, such a systemic, cultural, and worldly, you know, um, I could use some words. But how people like, so it's like one of the biggest challenges we have that comes into everything, right? Oh, that comes into everything. So it's like this idea that it's like, oh, am I doing my, spiritual work good enough? Am I being present good enough? Am I being, it's like nonsense. And it's not nonsense because it's so real to us. It's been so ingrained, right? And so this is where with that self-love, and this is where we can have a boundary with ourselves. Boundaries can be really loving and really create a space that allows for that self-acceptance, that allows for that space of that moment to moment communication, right? So our boundaries really are that thing of going, wait a minute, I don't need to buy into the good enough, or I'm doing it good or bad. I don't need to buy into duality. Everything is in wholeness right here in my present moment. And this is what my present moment looks like. Right? And this is what my present moment looks like. And that can bring that relief, that sigh, that, right. I don't have to, live up to this thing. And this is where we can take ourselves or take others off of pedestals. Right? Take off this whole idea of hierarchy and superiority and all of those things that has really got our self-love bound up, right? We only can be loved or love ourselves when, right? No, let's put up a loving boundary to that. Thank you and no thank you. I want to hold my space in my own presence. The presence as it is right here and right now. And communicating with the self to support that, right? And that's what I was getting at, right? So I love that. Even that is presence. Yeah, because by communicating with yourself, that's it. Like I see you, darkness. I see you, what feels like darkness, right? Because it draws us into that, and saying, wow, yeah, the shadow self has a pull right now. My shadow self is pulling me right now. Okay. Okay. And so when we talk about aligned communication with self, it's all about what's happening in the moment and communicating that. So it's really just saying, even if maybe you need to write it, or maybe you need to, call up a friend that you can just say whatever, however, and whatever, right? And it doesn't matter, just the ear that it can fall on. And they're just like, okay. You can say, I don't need you to fix anything. I don't need any advice. I just need to let it all out. Or maybe you just talk to yourself, right? You just talk to yourself that it's okay. And I think a lot of times because of that self-love, we feel that, we're not moving through something well enough and everybody else is. Oh, other people are probably, I hear this so often when I do sessions with people and stuff. It's like they see someone having an experience and then they just think their whole life is perfect, right? It's like, no, that's not how it works, And and even with me, I have my moments. I just take that moment and do the best I can with it. Right? Take the moment and do the best we can with it, knowing that we can reflect upon it and that we're consistently growing and sharing. And so one of the things that came up, and I know it's really tender because so much of our energy has been put into these external experiences of life, right? Where we need to show up for somebody or we need to achieve something. And right now, these energies are really wanting to deconstruct that whole program. That whole program to bring your power and your connection to yourself so back to this moment that maybe the moment's empty, maybe it's full, maybe it is whatever it is, but at least, there's not this whole thing of having to, be so fully embedded or, contract or, expanded into this, this false world that's trying to pull our energy in all these different directions and pull us out of our center and keep us from taking care of ourselves. And I know that's tender for a lot of people because people want to show up for others or feel that there's meaningfulness when we show up for others. And there is that all the way, but it's not selfish to have your boundaries with yourself of how much energy you're willing to give or how much energy you're willing to, extend from yourself when maybe you really know that you need care, you need some presence, you need some attention. Yeah. And, it's not easy when, like you're saying, like I relate so much with what everyone has shared. I too have noticed my nervous system is being taxed. It's almost like I'm having to stop everything and try to deeply breathe to keep from holding my breath or shallow breathing. It's like I'm bracing. Yeah. Yeah. And what it is, it's like there's this impact, there's this influx of like this photonic energy from this, the plasma and all of this is like boom, lighting up our system. So it is in a way an impact. And that's where we get to go, okay, it's like I think of one just flowing with it, right? And like you're saying, breathing so that it can flow with it and it can move through us. It's kind of like when, I think of like martial arts or, these tumbling things where you learn to fall, right? And you learn to roll with it. It's like, oh, I just got hit, but oh, I know to tuck and, to roll. And so it's like, that's the kind of space we're in is like, can I tuck and roll or am I going to go splat? Right. So it's like, taking those moments, like you said, and breathing and inviting and saying, okay, wherever this energy needs to land, I invite it to land. I invite it to integrate. And wherever it's poking, just say, I feel you poking that spot. I feel you poking that trigger or that experience. I'm just going to invite whatever needs to be transmuted to be transmuted. I'm going to invite whatever space needs to open up to open up. Yeah, Ray. Wow, that self-care is not failure. Yeah. Like you have to, yeah. I'm really curious of what you mean by that. Because my mind went to like, or my thoughts went to like, oh yeah, if I have to take care of myself, then maybe I'm not handling this good enough, right? That I need self-care, right? Or that things aren't right enough. And so it's like, yeah, Brian, learn to bounce. Exactly. And so, so yeah. So what I'd like to do in meditation is just opening into that space of the body and just inviting this energy that we've been receiving to land where it wants to land, to soothe the parts of ourself that need some soothing right now, and bring in the opportunity of the space of ourself that's been exploring self-love and self-care and welcoming ourself home to ourself even more. Welcoming ourself home into that place of connection to self, right? Yeah. Nice. Bounce 3 on word. I like that. It's one of your passwords. That's great. Yeah. So, and maybe where we're willing to have maybe some more boundaries with ourselves. Like where, and then what I mean by that is where is our energy leaking maybe somewhere into a thought or into an emotion that we're just letting have its way and its say. And or maybe just a boundary you're working on in your life in any way. So allow this meditation to take you wherever you're needed, wherever it's needed, right? So we can allow some integration, some self-love, communication with yourself. And when we do the communication with yourself, it's really tuning into where you can be loving, maybe encouraging and uplifting, accepting, forgiving, compassionate with yourself and your body and how you're receiving and experiencing things right now. So let's take a deep breath in. And as we take a deep breath in, just inviting this breath to be in gratitude, inviting this breath to be a gift to be here, a gift to be together. gift to share this moment, to come into connection with yourself, connection with others, and support. We're going to invite Mother Mary and a beautiful flow of golden light through the body. Soft, subtle, gentle flow of love, of connection, of being held. And inviting this stream, gentle flow of energy to flow through your whole energy body, your whole physical body, and allowing all that wants to come into alignment in this moment. Maybe there's parts that you've been feeling, you've been holding some tension around over the last couple of days, and just inviting maybe yourself to drop any of the resistance or tension, inviting this light to soothe those areas of your body. And if you wish to, maybe bringing your hands to your body and rubbing any parts of your body that feel they would just like some soothing, loving, compassionate touch in this moment. Your arms, maybe your belly, maybe your heart. You want to rub just up and down your thighs, soft, gentle, slow movement. Just to invite the body to receive. The body to receive. You're inviting the soft, fluid flow of energy to invite this energy to land and flow more easily through you. More easily around you. That anywhere that there are those pings in the energy body or the physical body, that they get to be embraced by this light, embraced by this energy. Anything that wants to be resolved gets to be resolved. And anywhere you want to invite self-love, where would you like to invite self-love to open up with you? So breathing through the heart and the high heart, inviting pure love, inviting pure love. Noticing how that shows up. Maybe there's a specific sensation. Maybe there's a word. Maybe there's some tension around it. And if so, just communicating with it, just saying, I hear you, I see you, I feel you, however you're experiencing it. Just communicating with the part of yourself that's showing up right now. Giving your awareness to whatever is present. inviting that part of you. Maybe you're feeling something of self-love. Maybe you're still feeling some tension. So just inviting them either come into a space of softness and compassion. Maybe you invite that feeling of self-love to flow through your body. You invite it to flow through all of you. Present, allowing yourself to be really present. Inviting the parts of you that do know how. That do know how to be with this energy. That do know how to communicate with yourself with exactly where you are producing. And inviting this part of you to show you maybe a place that you'd like to have more of a boundary with a thought or a feeling or an emotion that you allow yourself to have, that you just talk to it. You tell that part of yourself, this is what we're going to do now. This is what we're inviting as a possibility of communication with ourself in relationship to ourself. Beautiful. Maybe you're feeling that you need to do this with another person or an experience you have with people, just tuning in and seeing what's alive and what really wants to come forward for you. It's a boundary that all gives you. This boundary is from compassion and self-love. This boundary is to communicate in an aligned way with yourself. Maybe you're going to choose not to give so much power to a certain thought or an emotion that when it shows up, you're going to acknowledge it and then say, and this is what we're going to do now. You instruct and direct your energy and your awareness to the aligned place of the self. Open to an opportunity to deepen the space of presence, of relaxation. Inviting compassion and forgiveness if needed to anywhere within yourself. Taking some moments here to again present with the self, with your body, your energy, inviting all that is present to be whole and in alignment. Acceptance of self, acceptance of this path, what it brings in each moment. Just giving yourself maybe some encouragement to just be aware, to be right where you are. Release the pressure of having to be good enough in any way. Being present with yourself, caring for yourself, loving to yourself, gently being present with whatever is present is self-care, is self-love. Allowing yourself to be in presence with yourself, with whatever is present, is self-care. That self-care, a great gift, is what will strengthen how you communicate with yourself, strengthen how you communicate with others, strengthen the boundaries that are aligned for you and how it is that you do relate to yourself and love yourself. Bringing your power back to you. Inviting your power back to you. From anybody, any of the constructs of good enough, failure, or what anyone has said or not said, what you have said or not said, all of that. Go out. Be surrounded with embrace, compassion, and love. Right here, right now. Full self-love. All the cells of your body, full energy body, all the space in between, all your energy channels, all of you present, embraced in self-love. Encouraging yourself that you're doing your best in each moment. Some of these moments aren't easy, and it's okay. Maybe where you find yourself with tension around the not easy, just taking some breaths and inviting it to soften and to soften and to soften. There's no standards to be held up against. That when moments aren't easy, they're not easy. Everybody feels that not easy when they're feeling the not easy. It's okay. Give yourself some space. Breathe and give yourself some space. You wish to, maybe placing a hand, if you don't have a hand, on your heart or a hand somewhere on your body, maybe putting a gentle smile upon your face and just encouraging yourself that you're going to move through this. We're moving through this. You're moving through this. I'm moving through this. I'm right here, right now, and it's moving. I'm here, right now. In stillness and in motion at the same time. Not caught in any one thing, just allowing the flow and the stillness right here, right now. Wonderful. Taking a moment to take a breath into the body, feeling your feet, feeling your hands, noticing your body now, noticing how you feel what's present, moving your body a bit, maybe drinking some water, inviting yourself to do exactly what feels aligned in this moment. Feels much more peaceful. Oh, wow. Thank you, everyone. You can feel the shifts and movements of energy there, especially around the boundaries. Could really see, whoo, had a lot to say there. Your system had a lot to say there. Of what you're willing to be present with and choose in your life now with experiences. Also, with that self-love piece, recognizing, it's interesting because, just this reminder that, maybe in life we had some people in our life that were trying to hold us to a certain way of being, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's really just us. We got conditioned with certain things, and so now that's where we get to put the boundary up that we don't accept somebody else's conditions anymore. We don't even have to place those conditions on ourselves. Let's create a condition now that our condition is love, connection, and that we're not going to put pressure on ourselves when maybe we don't feel like we're doing it to the best of our ability, or we're doing the best we can in each moment, right? To be more compassionate, more compassionate, more compassionate. Yeah, so I'd love to hear maybe what you experienced. If you want to write it in chat, if you're on Zoom or YouTube, you can write it in chat. Yes, thank you. Always says, thank you so much for always tuning into the field and bringing in exactly what I need. Gentle reminders and attunements. Thank you. Thank you for being here and allowing us to co-create the space together. Yeah, and Andrea, wow, thank you for this experience. I went so deep. I feel so calm and present. Much love. Yeah, thank you. Ah. Yeah, Sarah, thank you, Kristen. Such a happy surprise to find it's Mastering Monday this morning. Yay! This has been so perfect and enlightening as always. Deep gratitude for this space together. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you all for sharing this space. It's been a wonderful space to experience. Yeah, Susan, always divine and magical. Thank you, Susan. Yeah. So I do want to share that we get to have more space together this week if you'd like to. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing Alchemy on the Awakening Path. We're going to go deeper into some of this information tomorrow. If you'd like to join in, feel free. Ray, yeah, so many angles and layers and levels to caring for the self. There are, aren't there? There are indeed. It's kind of like, how are we going to care with ourselves with our thoughts? How are we going to care with ourselves with our body? How are we going to care with ourselves with our feelings and with others and by ourselves? And woo, yeah. What was it before? What are we creating it to be now? It's like, yeah, there's just so much. So, yeah, if you wish to, I'm just going to put the link here for our gathering tomorrow because I feel like it's going to be another wonderful experience of, gathering and really coming into that space of being a divine channel of source and really, what we did today is really just is being that. So we can explore it more tomorrow too. So anyone else want to share anything? Let's see. Oh yes, Teresa. This is just what I needed I've been in turmoil since 3:30 this morning and the self-care was perfect. Self-care is telling your truth. Thank you. Bless you. Yes. Thank you for saying that. Self-care is telling your truth. Indeed. Indeed it is. And sometimes we have to just tell our truth to ourselves, right? Maybe we do want to share it with other people too, but when we can really be honest and real with ourselves, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm experiencing. Woo! Instead of maybe just looping in it and letting it carry us off into some weird places. Yeah, self-care is that really perfect place to, yeah, new insights around, regarding boundaries. Yeah, thank you, Larry. Yeah. Yeah. Because really, if we're not having these types of connections, communications, and quote unquote, boundaries with ourself, then how do we expect to show up that way with other people? Right? And I know some people have it reversed too, where they have better boundaries with other people than themselves, and that happens. But it's really going, into that place where our boundaries are really from that place of compassion, and our boundaries with ourselves are really from that place of like, wow, this is how I really want to treat myself. This is how I really want to be with myself. This is how I really want to feel in my body. This is how I really want to. And I know these things aren't that, maybe, how I'm, working with my energy in my life. So maybe I really need to have a talk with myself, just like we feel like we got to have talks with other people around certain things. We can sit down and have those same talks with ourselves. It's really powerful. Yeah. Yeah, Ina, I've been watercoloring and using my crayons to express myself. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, Ray, dignified boundaries allow deeper connection and intimacy with others. Indeed, they do. Yeah, dignified. I like that word. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really giving ourselves dignity, right? When we don't have that sense of dignity with self, we'll just, we'll do things that, or allow people into our space in ways that we don't want, and even allow ourselves to do things with ourself that we might not want. And then, and intimacy is powerful. And that's what we're doing. We're creating intimacy. We're creating that deep connection with ourself. when we're having these conversations with ourselves. When we're noticing, oh, wow, I'm doing this thing and it doesn't feel quite good. And I'm doing it to myself. How can we work together? And so there's this whole idea, if we're in that I am presence, if we're in the wholeness of ourself, right? If we're in the wholeness of ourself, then there's everything there available, right? And so when we're talking with ourselves, we're really talking to our whole self, the parts of ourselves that are already there, that are the true energy that we want to embody, that we want to be, that we want to experience. And so by having these communications with ourselves and acknowledging, what we're feeling and what we're experiencing in the present moment, it's that it opens the door to those parts of ourselves say, yep, and here I am. Here's the part of me that is self-accepting. Great. Here's the part of me that does know how to self-care. Okay, here's the part of me that does know how to self-love. And here are all the different aspects of those actions or thoughts that support the self-love and the self-care. Right? So it's really having that aligned communication with the self that opens all of that up, we're accessing the wholeness of ourself when we go into that. And that is true intimacy right there. Right? When we can approach ourself from that wholeness, and then when we can approach others from that wholeness. Right? And other people may not be able to show up that way, and we don't expect. That's where we can get into trouble too, is expectations of ourselves to always show up some way, and then expectations of others to show up certain ways. So if we're willing to not have expectations of ourselves, but hold ourselves to like, yes, this is who I'd like to be, but not from that place of good enough or punishment or failure. It's more of like, I'm just going to keep encouraging myself that this is how I'd like to show up. Just like how we would love to maybe have been encouraged as a child or to encourage a child. It's like, yes, you can do it. One of the words I love to say to my son, is, yes, I trust. I trust that you know how to do this and you can do this, or you're able to, or, that it's possible. So we can use those words. I trust that this is possible. I trust that I am this. I trust that I'm capable. Because some part of you is. Remember the wholeness. Yeah. Yeah. So Lisa, so much awareness of sovereignty and presence, embracing, having choice and allowance. Yes, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, Ina, 6 planets line up tomorrow morning, 1 hour before sunrise Pacific time. Ooh, another one? I didn't realize we were having another lineup so close together from the previous one. Okay, exciting. So more energies infusing us to become aligned, right? Line those energy centers right up. Woo. Yeah, right. Self-care extending to intimacy with self. Yes. Yeah. So I was doing a somatic havening practice last night and I just cried and cried and cried. It was just one of those things, where it was just like, just getting that level of connection with the self where we're willing to, soothe the self and recognize, through these intense times, there's stuff that's there. There's stuff that wants to come up. There's stuff that wants to come through. There's stuff that wants to be expressed. And that's where that healing comes in. That's amazing. It's like when we get into those places of our capacity with our brain waves too, when we're in those deeper brain waves, in those deeper relaxed states where those emotions can be expressed and that intimacy with the self is there, that's where the healing really comes in. By meditation, when we come into these spaces, meditation is so powerful because we finally can maybe relax and sink into the experience, right? And just let it be, instead of maybe holding or constricting or having that separation where the mind's wanting to figure it out and take care of it, but then we're not really tuning into the real intimate moment of the experience within the self, right? And that's where really people feel that too, when you can show up like that with other people. And yeah, of course, some people may not respond to it. And that's, again, no expectations of how others can have the capacity to show up or not have the capacity to show up, right? Because that's where we can relieve the stress on ourselves to have the capacity to show up or not show up in a certain way too, right? That we're all growing and we're all learning. And that communication with self and communication with others is like one of the most, beautiful and profound, and one of the most challenging things that we have as a human, the way we've been, raised. And so this is a new culture that we are creating in this moment of communication. We're creating a new culture by learning to communicate with ourselves this way. Yeah. So, so more of this, please. No. Yeah. So how wonderful and beautiful it is to be able to come into this opportunity of just self-care, self-love, and remembering that boundaries are loving, boundaries are caring. We're not shutting something out. We're creating a space. You want to call it a sovereign space. It's like, this is what I'll accept in my space. This is what I won't accept in my space. Because this is who I am, and it's what builds me up. Builds me up. We are keeping love in. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's not energy leak our love either, right? Yes, it's great to have love and extend our love. That's not that's not it be an energy leak. Creating a love in, go for it. I'll stay there. Yeah, our bodies are the love in, our fields are the love in, right? I know you are. I was just playing on that, And that's where we want to live, right? That's where we want to live, right in the love. So, yeah, absolutely. So, thank you everyone for being present for this and showing up and creating this space together in such a meaningful, powerful way. And, just another reminder that self-love and self-care is what is meaningful. Our boundaries are meaningful. Our communication with ourself is meaningful. All of this leads to creating the structure and the bridge to more of who ourselves, to our wholeness. It strengthens our field, it strengthens our mind, it strengthens our heart, it strengthens our gut, it strengthens our immune system, it strengthens our whole being. Life is communication. Let's do more of that loving communication with ourselves. So I love you. Take care, be well, and if you feel to and you want to join us tomorrow for the Alchemy and the Awakening Path, do so. Please come join us for that. Emails have gone out for that, as well as Wednesday, I'll be doing my first podcast airing if you want to be present for that. And that'll be fun too. That'll be live, and you'll have some chance to answer questions or ask questions at the end through the chat, not live on yet. Yeah, and if you wish to share and gift for our experience today, please do so. Those links are in the emails too, that you can donate for our time together. So I love you all. Be well. And enjoy this wonderful, incredible day in this moment, being present, being present. Yeah, thank you, Ray, and Sarah, and all, and Kathy, and Cynthia, everyone here. I appreciate all of you. Brian, Anita, Alice, Andrea, Jules. Yes, Teresa, Joyce, Judy, Ina, Sandy. Yeah, thank you all. Such a pleasure to be able to share this space together. Lots of love. Be well.